It started the night after the boys found the heads. Colin and Leslie, two brothers, had been digging in the garden behind their home in Hexham, a small town where little ever happened. They weren't looking for treasure, just messing about with spades. But buried beneath the soil, they uncovered something strange. Two small stone heads, crudely carved, with eerie faces frozen in crooked smiles. One was male, the other female. The eyes were wide, hollow, almost alive. They brought them inside and set them on a shelf in the living room. Their mother, uneasy at first sight, told them to put the heads back outside. The boys laughed. That night, she was woken by the sound of shattering glass. Thinking one of the boys had broken a window, she rushed downstairs. The room was cold, far colder than the rest of the house. On the carpet lay shards of a drinking glass, though no one had been there. The stone heads sat in silence on the shelf, watching. In the following days, odd things kept happening. Objects were moved when no one touched them. Flowers wilted overnight. Doors slammed even when the windows were closed. The children began to whisper about shadows crossing their rooms at night, slow, heavy shapes with the sound of breathing. Their mother dismissed it as imagination, but she too began waking at strange hours, convinced she'd heard footsteps in the hallway. One evening, the boy's sister screamed from her bedroom. A family rushed in to find her curled up, trembling, staring at the doorway. She said she had seen a half-man, half-beast figure stooping under the frame, covered in coarse hair, its hands stretched out as if to grab her. It vanished when she screamed. On the floor, pressed into the carpet, were huge prints shaped like hooves. Neighbors grew nervous. Rumors spread about the heads, about how they shouldn't have been disturbed. An old woman down the street muttered that they were cursed, relics of something ancient that never wanted to be found. The family gave the heads to a local historian, hoping to rid themselves of the terror. For a few days, the house was calm. No footsteps. No shadows. The children slept in peace. But the historian's wife began complaining of icy drafts that crept through locked rooms. One night, she woke to see the same hairy figure towering over the bed, its face twisted with rage, its stench filling the room. The heads were moved again. Wherever they went, the stories followed. Unexplained movements, shattering objects, the shadowy beast. It seemed as though the heads carried something with them, something restless, something watching. Years later, one of the heads vanished, stolen or misplaced, its whereabouts unknown. The other ended up in a researcher's collection, locked away. But those who had seen them never forgot. A family in Hexham swore the events were real. Their neighbours whispered about the night screams and the hoof prints. And sometimes, when they walked home after dark, they felt eyes on them, cold and ancient. As if the stone heads were still waiting to be unearthed again. However, the mysteries still remain unresolved because there are some supernatural forces exist on Earth which are beyond human imagination, and we can't do anything about it.